Welcome to the Bookworm Bindery with Cathy-Lynn. We are going to be working on the fairy journal today. This would be part number 5. And today what we're doing is we're just adding some more stuff in. I have tabs that I'm going to put on the book. And I want to do those on the first page of each signature. And then I have trims, ribbons, laces that I want to put on the back of each signature on the last page, but not the signature. So the signature with writing, with the lines for writing, will not have these things. So we have that. And then I have some kind of fun decorative trims that I am planning on putting on some of the pages. Here's some acorns. And then I thought this one would be nice. Flowers. Okay, so there's that. We're doing that, and that's what we're going to start with. So I'm going to start with tabs. And I did go ahead and cut out 4 so that I would have a choice when it came down to it. Kind of think this one would be good for this page. Here's the other one. Yeah, okay. So I am planning apparently I can't glue and talk. I'm planning on putting this in, different levels as we go along. So I'm going to start this one at the top. Barely in screen. All right. Okay. So there is tab number 1. That is going to be followed. Where do I want to put this? We could put lavender, or I can put pink. Kind of like the lavender, but I can't put lavender on every page. So let's do a quick run through. Okay, what do we have here? So then the other color is this kind of cream, and really I think this color of cream will be perfect here because it'll match our fairy. Okay, so that one's going to be cream. And then when I go here, pink or lavender. I think pink. Oh, wait. I think this is what I got to put here, and I don't like it at all, so never mind. Okay, so this is going to be pink. I'm just going to rest it there. Which means that the first signature gets the lavender. And I think that works nicely. Okay, so do I want to put it in here? Not really. Okay, so I'm going to put it along this side. So it would be cool if you left me a comment telling me what it is you're working on. While you watch this, are you working on a project? Are you just taking a few minutes to yourself? are you working on a project that is not paper related or junk journal related? So I also do rhinestone pictures or junk journals. I do junk journals. I do rhinestone pictures or diamond painting. And it's really funny because sometimes I find myself watching videos for my rhinestone pictures while I junk journal. And then I watch videos about junk journaling when I work on my rhinestone pictures. And I think that is kind of funny. It's like, kind of seems backwards. I don't always do it that way, but sometimes I do. And, okay, so there we have that. Lovely. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, now we're on the next page. Now, this particular print is printed on the bottom half of this page, and I am seriously thinking of putting a pocket of some sort up here, although it's the perfect place to put a poem or something like that. So this is the first page of this signature, and this page opens up. So now I have to kind of think about, how am I putting one of these tags in? Tabs, not tags. Because if I put it in here, then this won't open up. Unless, what if I... Nope, it won't open up. So do I glue this down and turn it into a pocket, or do I leave it as a writing space and somehow do something slightly different, like glue this down on just one side? I think that makes more sense. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start by gluing this together. Okay, so I've asked what you're doing. And maybe or maybe not, you'll make a comment to tell me what you're doing. So now, this would probably be a great time for me to say, when you get done watching this, it would be wonderful if you hit the like button, the thumbs up. You might be able to do that now if you're not on full screen. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, that is if you're interested in what's going on here. Okay, so the first one was up that high. So the next one is going to be put here. Here. That's fine. It's okay that it goes over this a little bit. Okay. So let's get this glued into place. So another comment. Let's see. Another question that I have for you. Do you... Whoa, sorry about that. Do you do junk journals? Are you a junk journaler? Do you do eclectic, or do you theme your junk journal? Have you done more than one? That's a lot of questions. So I guess, do you junk journal, and have you made more than one? And then from that, we would have the I do themes, or I do kind of whatever. That would be the second question. There we go. All right, now let's put this, and I'm going to put it on this side as well. It would be good if we did this right side up. Okay. Okay. Hello, Lucy. Lucy is my white and black spotted cat. So she's a white girl with black spots on her. There we go. And she is a talker and a half. And she always has something to say. It often sounds like she's complaining, but I don't think she's always complaining. Okay, so I got a little bit of glue on this brown piece of paper page, so I'm just rubbing it to get it to come up and off. Great. Okay. I have to admit that when I was pulling these trims out, I just kind of guesstimated how much I needed. Well, I'm sure this is not, I am not the only one, but not too long ago, I had a dollar store in my area go out of business. And they had tons and tons of trim that they were clearing out. And I managed to get a really great price per yard. And so I bought a bunch. Did I need a bunch? No. Why, no, I did not. I like this one better. Ah, there's that little missing piece. Did I buy it anyway? Yes, I did. Okay, so the first one went there. The second one went there. That was a pair of scissors. Luckily, there was nobody under me. This one is going to go here. Just need to see here. Okay. This one definitely needs to be inked. It's got some white marks, so I'm doing this off. I'll come back. Look, I'm inking. I am sure you didn't really need to see that. I just didn't want you to feel left out, you know. Okay, pulling scissors up off of the ground. All right, now let's put some glue. Let's do it this way. Okay. There. Okay. So tabs are nice because it gives you a side visual, pops out from the, you know, from the paper. Actually, so do the side laces, which, you know, I like ribbons or lace that are on the sides. I like that too. And just kind of adds to the, I guess, the texture of it all. All right, and then we have this one. Okay. Okay. Ta-ta. Cool. Okay, this needs to be slid up. I don't know if I can get it, the whole thing to slide up. Okay, yeah, apparently. Apparently, yes. Now let's make sure that I didn't glue it onto the page behind it. Maybe a little bit. Let's see. Nope, it doesn't actually feel like there's wet glue there. Good. Okay. Okay, there we go. Nice. So now, as I close this up and move it back, we can see interesting things. We have tabs, we have laces, and we have papers that stick out nicely because I did not cut them all level. I didn't want to do that. Okay, now I have a page in here somewhere that is that it? Nope. That I glued some stuff onto. And when I was flipping through it, my brain said, oh, hey. You can put this, well, that's not nice, sorry. You can put this jute vining with leaves on it on that paper. So now I just have to flip through the whole book until I find it. Hopefully it won't be in the last pages, but you know. We'll call it an impromptu flip through. Okay. Or not. Well, I guess when the time comes and I actually find it, then I'll do it. So don't know exactly right now. All right. So interesting. All right. So I've gotten the side edges put on, and I don't think that was it. I don't think she was it. No, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm gonna stop fussing. Stop fussing. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull out a few things that I set aside to make pockets out of, more than what I already put in the other day. So we have, you can see these fairy folk sitting outside of their cottage. This has a tree with a fairy door in it. This one has a fairy door. It's a smaller version of the other one. I've actually glued it onto this page. It stuck some words inside so I wouldn't lose them. So that's to be put in. Don't know about her. We'll see. So these three, I'll come back to you. These three are going to be put in, one in each signature. So we're in signature 1 right now, and we're going to come in. I like that on that page. I'm going to put this one here. And then the thought was to put words up here, and the other thought was to leave this as a side tuck as well. So this has been glued here, creating a side tuck, and now I'm going to glue that in on the side and the bottom to make another side tuck. So it could certainly be glued down flat and just be a pretty picture. If you put it in as a pocket or a tuck, then it can be used as a pocket or a tuck. Or it can be left just like this, in which case it's going to look like a pretty picture. So it gives you options. You get to decide. I happen to have several things that I'm putting into this journal for the client that is going to require a little bit bigger than normal pockets for me. I have a tendency to make things small, and Then every once in a while when I have a bigger something to put in, oh my gosh, I have no big pockets to put this in. So I'm thinking ahead. There we go. Cool. Okay, so signature number 1. Now we're going to go to the second one. And we're going to kind of look at this. I'm going to put this in. I kind of like it on this coffee dyed lined paper. Kind of turns it into, this seems to have a bit of a stormy sky behind it, and I think this just accents that. So this is in the first half, but you know, when I'm looking in the first half, there's not much in the way of pockets or other fun stuff. So, yep, I think that's a good choice. I'm going to put it here. And I am going to put it in as a top loading pocket. So, hand goes on the top edge because I don't want to glue there. And then I'll go down the side, along the bottom, up the other side, pocket. I often call that a U-shape glue, you know, because it's shaped like the letter U. There we go. Okay, come over here and kind of, it's not directly in the crease, but it's close enough that I felt like it was difficult on the right side of this page. And that's taken care of, and there's no glue overlap. Okay, cool. All right, now we're in the third segment, the third signature, sorry. Okay, so we have a pocket, we have a tuck, we have another wide piece of paper. Again, don't know whether I'm going to use that as pocket or glue in. Okay, so there's a little bit of stuff in the second half of the signature. And there is decidedly not much here. Okay, so we have decoration. We have some information on taking care of your sick cow if it's been fairy cursed. But as we can see, there's just not anything in the way of, or not much in the way of pockets. So let's come into here. Too big for there. Okay. So, do I want to put it on the sheet music? I kind of do. I kind of do. And I think what I want to do with this one is bring it in a little bit and make it a side-loading pocket. I don't like side-loading pockets to be too close to the edge. If whatever we're putting in this pocket sticks out a little bit, I don't want it to get ruffled and knocked out. So I think we will put it here. Cool. And side-loading. So I want my hand on the edge that I'm not gluing. It's a thing, guys. It's a thing. The other thing that's the thing is that big blob of glue has to go away. Okay. All right, we're going to bring it in. Okay. Nice. the bottom of this paper is ruffled. It's really fairly old sheet music, 1970s. This says copyrighted in 65 and 69. I don't know when the book itself was done. But here we have a copyright 82, so it's not that old of a book. I mean, it is certainly still a vintage thing. It's not an antique. It's well over 20 years, so it's distinctly vintage. And those uneven edges really show that off, which is kind of cool, right? Okay, so now I have a side-loading pocket here. Okay, now I'm going to move these other ones aside because now I have a couple of things. First of all, I know I had this out, and I ended up making a bookmark out of it with a grommet on the top and some pink. So not this, of course, because it's a side loading, but this can be tucked into some pocket or other. So that'll be fun. All of my things that I'm using to tuck in, I have on another table. This, it's just a piece of paper, and I'm seriously thinking about just gluing it flat so that there's an interesting thing, something to look at, something fun. So I would like to put this in. I made this belly band, so let's look at it. It says, when shadows play and breezes sing, fairy bells begin to ring. And then we have a beautiful fairy here. We have some mushrooms, and this is on a piece of paper. Obviously it's a piece of paper that has printing on it. It's like, I suspect it was a type thing, but it looks handwritten. So we've got that belly band. I have this little card that I would like to put in. And then I have this picture. I think we'll start with her. And I think we're going to start with her, my Smashed Fairy. So this is out of my Smashed Fairy book. We're going to put her in the third signature, because the third signature is a little bit on the plain side. And I really want to put her, she's a little heavy. I want to put her on a heavier piece of paper behind a piece of parchment. Now, I cut corners, like photograph corners, made them bigger because she's bigger. I want her to be able to come out because on the back side, the text here, you can pretty much read it. A little bit's been removed from each side, but you can read it. So what I want to do is I want to glue these down so that she can be pulled in and out. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to just glue very carefully on this edge. Okay. And I'm going to put this in this top corner. And press it down. And we're going to hope that I can get all four of these positioned so that she can be taken in and out and I don't glue her in. So this is going to go, she's going to stick off the page. Okay. All right. Rethink, pull it up, get it off. Peel this off, rub it off. It's not peeling. Okay, let's look at this again. Oh, for her to sit all the way in, I'm going to need a bigger piece of paper than that. Okay, so my biggest piece of papers are the paper bags. And while I wanted her on a piece of paper that was sturdier, I guess that's what I've got. The line isn't going to... I really wanted her under this. Okay. Wait a second. What if I don't put the corners on the inside and I just put the corners on the outsides. I can get the glue put right to the actual edge, and then I can just slip them in. Yeah, that's gonna work. I say, stick around. Let's see if it's gonna work. Okay. All right, there's that. Of course, part of the trick to this is not letting the glue come in very far. And I am going to literally put them on the corner of the page. That's going to do the trick. Okay, and then this is the other corner. Okay. I'm going to move some of this excess glue off because I don't want it to squish inward. Oh, sorry. All right, this is going to be a bit of a stretch. Let's bring this down. Let's put this right up here. Okay. Good job. All right, we are getting to the end of the time that I have to video. So I am going to end up having to, is that going to work? It is going to work. Yay. Okay, I'm taking it back out because I want that glue to dry. And so I'll just leave this right here for now. And I am going to say, thanks for watching. If you're still around, I appreciate that. And I will see you, well, I'm not going to see you in the next video because I can't see you. But I will be back to share more of this fairy junk journal. Thanks. Have fun with your papers.